You're listening to I Love It When, and I'm your host, Mo. I'm a speaker, coach, and connector. You're in the right place if you're looking for some inspiration and you're ready to truly embrace who you are. My intention with this podcast is to help you see that you are so much more powerful than you realize. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of I Love It When. I'm your host, Mo, and today I'm excited to introduce you to Laycee Gwyther. I met Laycee through Kiana Njai, who I just had on the podcast a couple episodes ago. She's the owner of Urban Yogi Studio in downtown Everett, Washington. And Kiana put me in touch with Laycee because she was looking for another keynote speaker for her event coming up in March. And I am so excited to be a part of this event, you guys, that I wanted to make sure to tell you about it, but also to have Laycee on the podcast to share a little bit about her story so that you have a little bit of context around who she is and what she has done with her life and why she's putting on this event and why you should come to it. I would love to see you there. I'm super excited to speak. I'm honored and flattered that she asked me and to be a part of something like this because our values are very much in alignment and I love her servant heart. I love what Laycee is doing. So this event is called Radiance. You can find a link to it on my website, iloveitone.org, or you can go to www.radiance-event.com. And it's March 23rd through the 24th. It's for women ages 18 and above. So if you are listening and you're wondering if you should come to this, yes, you should. First of all, I would love to see you there in person. But second of all, for the price and what she's doing, this is an amazing value. Amazing value, you guys. The ticket price is $750. If you use code MOSMITH, MOSMITH, you will get $250 off of your ticket. That's a full weekend, a full 2 days of content for just $500. So to be put in a room with other women who are stay-at-home moms, single women, married women, like entrepreneurs, business owners, you name it, humans who are there to better themselves. These are the people you want to spend time with because the changes that can happen during that time, you just never know. It's like it's one of my favorite things to do and why I love retreats and workshops, because when you get people together who have similar intentions to better themselves, the magic that unfolds, you can never guess what it's going to look like. And that's the beauty of it. So I wanted to shine a light on her event and give you a chance to get to know her because I want to see you there. So here's the 411 on Laycee. Laycee Gwyther is a highly experienced Salon Suite Owner, cosmetologist, and certified master coach. With more than 15 years of experience in salon operations and retail sales, Laycee and her husband Josh have been happily married for over 5 years and jointly own Executive Beauty Suites. Their company provides tailor-made salon and spa suites to beauty professionals who offer hair, skin, nail, massage, and tattooing services. With an unwavering commitment to creating a culture of safety and security, ensuring a deep understanding of business operations and profit, and prioritizing opportunities for education and networking, Laycee is passionate about education, leadership, and team building. Her primary purpose is helping others, and she has successfully achieved this through her active participation in business consulting. Laycee has coached entrepreneurs within the beauty industry and other business owners nationwide to achieve significant results in all 4 pillars in business and life. Her interests outside of work include kickboxing, traveling, and going on adventures with her beloved dogs. I can't wait for you to hear Laycee's story, and I can't wait to see you at Radiance. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of I Love It When. I'm here today with a very special guest, Laycee Gwyther. Laycee, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You guys, I can't wait for you to meet Laycee, and there are so many different things we're going to talk about today. But before we actually talk and dig into the content of the episode, I want to start off by saying that Laycee is hosting an event in the Pacific Northwest that you should all attend. It's called Radiance, and it's March 23rd through the 24th. And there's going to be a link in the notes of this podcast. Go check it out now and then come back and listen to this episode because you're going to want to reserve your ticket. So I want to make sure to get that out there right away. Laycee, why don't you start off by sharing with everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do now?
Yeah, my name is Laycee Gwyther. I am a multi-business owner. I have been in the salon and retail industry for, first off, my whole life. I grew up in the beauty industry, but working and being a cosmetologist and a business owner for the last almost 17 years. I, like I said, by trade, I'm a cosmetologist, which is just a fancy word for a hairstylist. And I recently retired actually at the age of 34 because of the business that we have built in our salon. We own a salon suite company, so we have a big building that we have renovated that has 22 individual suites. We
Mm.
rent out those suites to beauty professionals who offer hair, skincare, nail, massage, barbering, tattooing services, any type of beauty service. We are a one-stop shop for everything. What's unique about our building is we're an education-based company. So early on, when I worked in a salon suite, I realized there were a lot of people around me that did not know really how to run a business. Yes, they
Mm.
were in their salons. Yes, they were seeing their clients, but they didn't actually know the business background of what they were doing. And so I really started with one, taking one under my wing and teaching and learning together. And then that really is what grew the idea for us to have executive beauty suites. I just never could find a company or an environment that I
Mhm.
felt like I could really thrive in or that could really fill all of my needs. And it wasn't until my husband was like, well, if it's not out there, let's create it. And I fought him tooth and nail because I was like, heck no, I am not going to have a team of 30 women. No way. Because I had some female wounds, because I had some mom
Mhm.
wounds, I wasn't
Mhm.
really willing to create something that was going to be really meaningful. And so, against my judgment, I agreed with my husband, and then we just slowly built our salon suite company over time. Always with the value that we are going to benefit the beauty professional first.
Mhm.
Every decision we make in our company, everything that we offer, every experience that somebody has in there is always to benefit the beauty professional. And in
Mhm.
turn, we win. We have a classroom on site. So we teach the beauty professionals how to run a business. I don't need to teach them how to do better haircuts or a better facial. I need to teach them how to manage their money. And if I can
Mhm.
teach them how to manage their money, they will take off. And so we teach them business. And actually, now in our education schedule, we are doing experiential classes. We're talking about lifestyle things like setting boundaries. You'd be
Mhm.
surprised, like that has really nothing to do with transacting money, but they want to learn how to set boundaries so that they can be
Mhm.
better in their business and in their personal life. So
Mhm.
really, like, this journey of me getting to retirement at 34 just came because I was like, yeah, I want an opportunity to grow and thrive. So we
Mhm.
created that. And we have over 30 people in our building that are really, really successful, wonderful human beings. And we are really flipping the salon suite concept upside down
I
with our
love that.
education. And we're going to expand this next year. So I just truly love what we do. It's been an honor, and it's allowed me to take a step back from servicing clients and really dive all into personal development and growth and education for our beauty professionals and other business owners and now women.
That is amazing. With the very little that I know about the beauty industry, never having worked in it myself, but what I've learned through one of my good friends, Jared Burton, who is always also on the podcast, what you're doing is phenomenal. Like you said, you're like flipping the script on what's offered typically to beauty professionals. And I think that's amazing because I see so many people in that industry and I've met so many people who have the biggest hearts and are all like, they're basically sitting there and listening to people and they joke that they're kind of like a counselor in many ways because people trust them and feel they have really good energy. And so I love what you're offering to them because they need that support. And so I think that's just amazing what you're doing. I want to backtrack a little bit and talk about what got you interested in personal growth and development and having that be such a core value of what you offer at the salon.
Yeah, it's a funny story that you asked me that. Trauma is the reason I got into personal growth and development. And it wasn't trauma, it was unhealed trauma from growing up in a really tumultuous environment between having divorced parents, multiple states. There was abuse, trauma, addiction, neglect. There was just a lot of things that when I was younger, I didn't quite understand. I was just living it. Now that I'm older, I have more grace for the situation, but when you're young, you don't realize how those things are going to affect you when you're an adult. It wasn't actually until my husband and I opened up our Salon Suite company, and we were open for a little over a year. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to be married. I don't want to have this business. I put a expiration date on my marriage to my best friend at the time, because I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. Like I felt the pressure, things, it was just too hard and for me. And so I felt like the only way I could deal with that was to run. But I had learned now through personal development that that was like a fight or flight. I didn't actually really want to get a divorce. I didn't actually really not want to have our business. I just wanted something to go my way. And really, that cry for, I wouldn't even say just the cry for it to just be over, was really all of the trauma that I had experienced in my life coming to the surface. And then I, shortly after that, enrolled in my first personal development experience. It was a week-long experience in California. I paid a very high ticket for, and it was very military boot camp style. And it really cracked open who I was. Like, who are you? What do you want? Why does that matter? And who are you showing up to be? And that was the first time I had ever gotten in, like, taken a step back and looked at my life through a different lens or a different perspective. Instead of being the victim, I was looking at it as, how do I turn this into a victory? And so that personal development, like, I just happened to come across an ad in the middle of the night in a time of my life where I felt like everything was falling apart. And I don't care what you believe in, if it is a religion or energy or the universe, there was divine intervention in that time of my life, because I'm not a quitter. And so that would have been so out of character for me to do that, to quit my marriage, to quit the business, to leave everything. I don't do that. And so, but I really truly believe that that was the only option for me at that point. So, the personal development thing came from trauma and came from a moment of like scarcity and fear. And we had done so many things that nobody else was doing at that time and for our age, that I was like almost ready to be done. And then just, hey, do you want to come to this event? And I did. And everything changed after that. I dove right in. I hired a mentor and a coach at a high level. I got involved in the organization. And now I actually get paid at a high level in that organization to now coach other people that come through those programs. And so this personal development and growth game kind of just fell into my lap in the hardest moment of my adult life. So it was kind of just weird. I didn't seek it out. It just fell in my lap, but I was seeking something. I just didn't know what it was at the time.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about, I love that you said that you paid a high ticket price, and you don't have to give us the straight number, but I talk a lot about this with some of my coaching clients, and the fact that you made the decision to invest in yourself is huge. And I always tell people, like, when you feel that it's the right experience or the right coach or the right mentor or the right whatever it might be, and you know that it's meant for you, you will do it. And that, it's almost even more than whoever it is that you choose to work with or whatever you choose to do. It's about that, taking that action of investing in your own self that changes you. And do you think you were just like ready for it at that point in time, or had you decided like it's time to invest in myself?
You know, it's funny. We were over $150,000 in debt with this brand new business, and in a lawsuit and all these things that were all out of our control, not our fault. All these things were just happening to us. And I was to spend, the program was almost 10K, and I was like, I want to do this. I don't know what they call it, clever marketing on their part. I mean, just everything that they said to me, I was like,
Yeah,
are
it
you
spoke
a
to you.
powerful woman? I was like, yes, I am. Do you know you were meant for more? Yes, I am. Click the link below and watch the documentary. I was like, sold. It was, part of it was marketing.
Hmm.
Part of it is that it was speaking exactly to me and who I
Hmm.
was. And
Hmm.
then I was like, well, I'll watch this documentary. I'll apply and we'll see. I didn't even know how much it cost at that time.
Okay.
And then I got on the phone with somebody from his organization, and they were asking me a bunch of questions, and I just cried the whole time. Like, it was so, I don't even know what I said. I just know I was crying the whole time, saying like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
And the question was asked to me, they told me the price. I was like, there's no way I can afford that. And then they said, what is the cost of not doing it?
Mm.
And that is what changed my mind. What was the cost for me in my life, not just financially, but emotionally, physically, mentally, like all the way across? If I could put a number on the
Mm.
cost it was going to be if I didn't do it. And
Mm.
I was like, this is going to cost me my life. So was I willing to create this money in my salon at the time and work extra hard, work late, work weekends, like double book myself? Like I just made the commitment. The
Mm.
cost of not doing this personal development was my life. And
Mm.
so what was a dollar amount? And so I
Mm.
invested, and I didn't tell my husband that I spent the money. Because that's kind of where we were at the time. And then I finally told him, and he was mad. Like we
Mm.
could have, you're mad about the debt, but we could have paid off a good portion of the debt. And because he challenged me and we were in a harder time in our marriage, I was like, I'm going to make this work because I like a challenge. So it just took somebody questioning me
Yeah.
differently. Like, what
Yeah.
is this going to cost you if you don't? And so then I went and then I joined their coaching organization, which was 3 times that for the next year. And I was like, well, I've already spent a little bit. I might as well, I'm committed. And I knew if I came home and told my husband, hey, I committed to this amount of money for the next year, he was going to be real mad. So I was going to make it work because I wanted to make us work and I wanted
Yeah.
me to work. And through that week-long experience in the personal development, like actually 2 weeks prior to this event, I broke my leg. And so I tried to back out of this program and they were like, we only work with highly committed individuals. Are you committed or not? It was another like, not a call out, but a call up. Like, are you committed to actually changing your life? Because anybody can throw a dollar amount around. And so I showed up and I did that program on my broken leg. And I didn't stop one time because I knew that if I was leaving and I was going to spend this money, I was not coming home to have to explain why it did not work and then have to add on to the problems that I had already had. So for me, I just made the internal commitment like what this was going to cost me was way more than the dollars that I
Mm.
was going to spend. And I was
Mm.
capable of creating that. I just had to choose it. And
Mm.
so I just chose personal development. I chose to get committed and everything in my life transformed. And anytime I have an opportunity to do a personal development program or to learn something new or be a part of an event or a group, I'm all over it because every time I make the choice to invest in myself,
Mm.
I grow exponentially, which then my businesses grow, my family grows, my marriage grows, and in turn, I live the lifestyle that I want and I have enough money to pay all the bills and I'm happier. The thing that I was once
Mm.
chasing was the result when I needed to chase me and the work that I was doing and the healing I was doing, and I would get the result. So the
Mm.
personal development was a big perspective shift for me. And it all came down to the question is what is this going to cost you if you don't invest in this?
Mm. Thank you so much for sharing that and for sharing those numbers because I think a lot of people I love sharing like and being transparent about different aspects of my life and what I've had to choose because I think a lot of people don't realize that sometimes when you make that choice in yourself and it's financial and it feels like a risk, if it feels like it's something you're supposed to do and you feel led to do it, the results and what you'll get from pouring into yourself, like you said, is just tremendous. There's no, and that was a great question that they asked you. What's the cost if you don't do that? If you don't do this for yourself? Yeah.
And it's a question I ask people all the time
Mm-hmm.
when they question whether they can pay their suite rent every whether they want to run a business. Like I'm like, okay, well, running a business is going to cost you time, energy, and money,
Mm-hmm.
but so is not running a business because you're going to spend your time, energy, and money on something.
Mm-hmm.
What's a business going to give you that not having a business will? And or even just like you said, in joining the networking group, going to the event, connecting with the
Mm-hmm.
person, going to coffee, like you have to almost be hungry to always be better. And
Mm-hmm.
I always remind myself, like, what's the cost of inaction? What's the cost of me just sitting around hoping and wishing and praying that things would be different? Because I did that for a really long time. And all that turned into was victimhood. That didn't serve me. And it was draining my emotional bank, my integrity bank, my love bank, my creative bank that I had. It was just sucking me dry. And so I'll always ask myself, like, what's the cost if I don't do this?
Hmm. I love that. Hey, I'm popping in for a moment to let you know that if you're interested in working with me one on one in a small group, or you'd like to attend one of my upcoming retreats, please reach out or add yourself to my email list. You can go to iloveitwhen.org and scroll to the bottom where you'll see there's a spot to sign up. I also love to speak, teach, and create experiences for small, medium, or large size companies. If you know someone that I should know, please connect us. I'm looking to utilize I Love It When to create global change, and that will require collaborating with all of you. You're all so much more powerful than you realize. Remind yourself of that today. I want to shift now and talk a little bit more about the executive beauty suites that you described earlier. And I had a chance to come and meet you there in the last couple of weeks. And I saw for myself and I heard from you about how you value inclusivity and education. And that was very apparent to me just walking through the environment. Uh, I would say that I can see that how that definitely sets you apart from other salon environments. What's the impact been like for people who come to rent an office there? Do they recognize that themselves almost immediately? Is that a part of the, is that, it feels like that's pervasive in the culture in the salon world, is not, it's not very inclusive or not always education based.
Yeah, what we see common in this industry is these artists are so creative. They're so talented and they're so passionate about hair or their skincare or nails or whatever that may be. And they love connecting with people. But because their energy is so focused on their craft and the people, they easily will get taken advantage of financially. There's
Mhm.
not a lot of transparency in the numbers. There are some amazing salon and spa companies out there that are totally transparent with numbers and all of that. And I tend to see those companies have the best associate programs. Those companies have the highest profiting, commissionable employees. They're the ones that have the brand or the multiple locations. And it's all because they're transparent about the numbers. And when companies aren't, like the very first one I ever worked for, it wasn't, they never talked about it. We made commission brackets, and the first one you would make was 42%. 42%.
Mhm.
That is before taxes.
Yeah.
And so even with me working so many years in the salon and getting promoted and being at the highest level within a couple of years, my paychecks, even if I was bringing in, $10,000 a month, my paychecks were $1,100. And it wasn't until we started focusing on the numbers, because I was never a numbers person. I'm a creative.
Hmm.
And I didn't know anything about money. I knew a little bit about business, but it was my husband that was like, these numbers don't add up. And then he said, work for yourself, but the cost of doing business will be essentially the commission that you're giving up. And then you get to have a little bit more freedom. And so that's what really made the shift. Is I'm a logical person, so the numbers
Hmm.
didn't add up. Plus, I
Hmm.
was getting bullied. Plus, I was struggling to get promoted and had to fight for it. You shouldn't have to fight for something that you've worked hard for. You shouldn't have to constantly be dealing with bullying and cattiness. Like, I just wanted to come in there and do my job and be in
Hmm.
an environment where I could learn. Like, I find that there's more people that are like that then there are people out there that want to be a part of like a little bit of chaos and drama. So
Hmm.
we've really taken my experience that I had in a commission-based salon and in my very first salon suite and created an environment where they are supported. The minute that my beauty professionals walk in the door, from the time that they come in to the time that they leave, they know if at any point in time they have a question, a need, or something in the building is going on, they know my husband and I will be there for them.
Hmm.
And the feedback we get a lot from our beauty professionals when we ask them, like, what's your favorite thing about being here? I hear things that have nothing to do with the industry. I hear,
Yeah.
my name. I hear that a lot. You know my name, and every time you see me, you say hi and greet me with a smile. You
Wow.
wrap my door with a bow when I come in. It's beautiful to watch them. We wrap their salon door with a bow, and it's personalized, and it'll say congratulations. It's like a big present. We do it before their first day. When they show up, we can see it on the cameras that everything drops. They're taking out their phone, they're smiling, and we get text messages. Thank you so much for recognizing me. Because opening a business is a big deal.
Mhm.
And they're doing it for themselves into the unknown. And it's important for somebody to know, like, hey, I'm supported here.
Mhm.
I'm welcome here. Like, no matter what, Laycee's got my back. And so we've just created this environment that you come in for a tour, you don't know about your licensing, don't worry, I have a startup packet. I have 10 things. You do these 10 things, you'll be ready to sign a lease. Once you come in, don't worry, we have a move-in process. We have education every 2 to 3 weeks to support you. We have a digital library where you can go back and watch everything that we've ever taught on. We are just a resource for these beauty professionals and a safe place. And I don't really have to ever worry about any of my people. I don't have to worry about whether they're going to pay their rent. I don't
Yeah.
worry about the dollars. I don't worry about, like, if they're doing things the right way. I know they're successful because they're supported. And
Mhm.
that's really, I think, been the biggest difference for our company in creating a culture and an environment where people are supported and that they matter. And that's everything that I've seen in the industry. Not it's typical, but there are some special salons that do change the environment. But for me, in my experience, I had some negative experiences. So everything that we do in our building is based off of a negative experience I've either experienced, or what do I want people to feel when they come in here? Because if my beauty
Mhm.
professionals feel good and they're supported, how are they going to service those clients? And at the end of the day, who's paying the beauty professional? The
Mhm.
client. And as long as the client pays the beauty professional will pay us their suite rent. And as long as they're profitable and successful, I have a solid business model. And so we don't ever focus on the profit.
Mhm.
My husband and I have a value in our company. We will always choose the people over the profit. And
Mhm.
COVID tested that value through and through. And we were there for
Mhm.
our beauty professionals, and it worked out for us. And now we are fully leased out. We have an extensive wait list, and we haven't had a vacancy in a very years because of it, which
That's
is allowing
amazing.
us to open another location. So really, for me, the environment of exclusivity and education was created because I wanted an opportunity. If I wanted that when I was 19, I know that there's everybody else out there that wants an honest and transparent opportunity. So we just
Mhm.
provide that. And as long as we choose our people over profit, we never have to worry about a profit a day in our life.
Mhm. Amazing. I wanted to, I always tell people that I have like a list of questions of things I want to make sure to ask people. And one of the things I talk about with almost every guest is intuition. And in the stories that you've just told already leading up, I can already sense like that you definitely have some sort of a intuitive or heart-led feeling that you get that has guided some of your decisions. But I love how everybody explains it differently. So how would you describe like what your intuition is to you? How would you define it?
I love this question. Intuition to me is the voice. Everybody's got a voice somewhere inside. Some people have a negative one. Some people have a negative self talk or an intuition fueled by things that they have experienced in their life, or things that have been told to them, or things that have happened to them. For me, intuition is that internal voice, that feeling of like almost like a choose and move. And when you're in a negative space, what you're choosing is to not move and to
Mm,
stay. And a more positive outlook on intuition would be I'm going to choose and move in a direction. It doesn't matter what direction, but I'm going to keep moving forward,
mhm,
because we understand that staying stagnant is actually like going to hurt us in the long run. So for me, intuition is just that internal voice like, do I choose and move on this? And sometimes it's I'm choosing to not go down this path, this
mhm,
business idea or this opportunity because it doesn't align with my personal values, or maybe doesn't align with what I've got going on, or maybe sometimes I just don't have time for it. But I also have we've been really good at reading people because we deal with different kinds of personalities.
mhm,
And for me, I can tell very early on with a beauty professional whether I want to choose and move on providing an opportunity for them. And I ask them a series of questions that very similar to how you ask your podcast guests.
Mm-hmm.
I ask them, why do they want to run a business? What do they think running a business is like? And what do they want as a result of running a business? That'll tell me really quickly whether that voice is going to choose and move on a yes with them, or choose and move on a, hey, come to some of our classes. Maybe this isn't the right time for you. So for me, intuition is that, like, that little inner voice. Are you going to choose and move, or are you going to stay?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I like forward motion. So typically I don't stay. There have been times in my life that I have, and my intuition is like, you shouldn't have done that. But for me, intuition is just that internal voice.
Okay. Do you feel like you get a feeling in your body with that? Like when you know it's like a yes, I'm supposed to do this?
Yeah, we've discussed, like, especially with this women's event, there are people coming
Mm-hmm.
out of left field. Like, was very intentional about who I seeked out
Mm-hmm.
to be involved in this event. And now people are now being drawn to me. So I'm not seeking people out. Now people are coming. And, I have a lot of ideas and a lot of businesses and people that want to get involved. I've said no to some because I'm like, this isn't right. Because I've
Mm-hmm.
gotten really good at listening to the voice. And
Mm-hmm.
then some cool opportunities come up, and instantly I'm like, wow, this is a really cool idea. We need to do this. Yes. And I will find every reason to say yes to
Yeah.
it. And so, yes, I think that it is a feeling. But I also look at it in a, like, a broader perspective when I'm making
Mm-hmm.
decisions too. Like, this isn't just about me. Nothing that we do here is about me, but at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, we're building businesses for our family.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I don't see things through my lens, I have a feeling about it. But as long as I don't, like, see it through, this is what Laycee wants, like, what
Mm-hmm.
is good for everyone, I always can trust the feeling with my intuition.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay, let's talk about Radiance that's coming up in March. And what nudged you or pushed you to move towards making an event like this?
The stupid voice that wouldn't leave me alone. We're talking about voice. Honestly, I think, I've spent 4.5 years, 4.5, almost 5 years with this coaching organization that I'm a part of, and they always are, like, encouraging people, go do the thing, go ship the thing, go launch the thing, go try the thing. And I
Yeah.
coach everybody in his organization as well to do those things. And so for me, there's a level of accountability aspect. Like, I'm going to coach people to go do amazing things. I better be doing amazing things too, or whatever you're saying is going to fall on
Mm-hmm.
deaf ears. And I love traveling for him, and I love the week-long events, and I love the experiential learning. I don't love traveling and
Mm-hmm.
being gone away from my husband all the time. And I don't love being gone away from my team all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's pros, but there's also a lot of cons to it. And so for me, I was like, how can I still love this, but also have it work for me in my time? And I just felt really called last year to be like, do an event, do an event here. And I kind of threw around the idea, and I spent probably 2 months really, why do you want to do this? What is the purpose of this? Like, Laycee has great ideas, but not all great ideas turn out to be great ideas. And so but it kept coming up, do an event, try it. And it wasn't until I was talking with the owner of the organization, and he said, I'll put our coaches up against any other coach in the world because they are elite, because they do the things that nobody's willing to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I've never seen anybody do what I'm doing here. What my idea. And that just sat with me. And then the voice was like, choose and move. Because I was just thinking and thinking and thinking. And then I said, you know what? I put it out there and said, I'm going to do a women's event in 2024. I'm going to do it. I'm going to build it from start to finish. I'm not going to just come in and speak and then leave. Like, I'm going to create it. Because the best way to learn, if you want to do something over a long period of time,
Mm-hmm.
is to try the thing that is super scary and unknown. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think being in the room with other high level entrepreneurs consistently and teaching people how to launch the business, how to create the stuff, it really, with inside me, was like, Laycee, launch it, do it. Like, what is the point? And I was like, the point of this event for me would be, I want women to like be their best. I feel like I'm living the best life I've ever lived now. And I feel like I am a beacon of light, that I radiate, that I impact, that I inspire. And Laycee, feels amazing at the end of the day. So I was like, if I can do this and I have the ability to do this with entrepreneurs nationwide, I can definitely do it and open it up to the women that are in our community. So for me, it started with an idea, then it was bugged by intuition and around high level people. And I'm just somebody, I'm all in or all out. And
Yeah.
so I started getting some people on board, and I built out a brand, and we built out a website, and we built out a plan and a budget and a vision for it. And it's collective effort. This is not
Mm-hmm.
just about me. Yes, I initiated all of this, but every single person involved in this is here for a reason, because I need them.
Mm-hmm.
I need other women and other I would say leaders in our community, because this isn't the Laycee show. Radiance is about helping women. And so we're creating a community in a village. And so I was like, great, we're going to the moon. I want this to be an experience. And so everything we've built around Radiance is about the experience. From the time that you walk in to the doors to the time that you leave, it will be an experience for you. And it will be life changing because it's an experience. I can
Mm-hmm.
teach you information all day long, and I could put amazing people in front of you. But unless I make you feel something and I feel something for the experience, this event will be nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
so, really, for me, Radiance just came because I was like, I have this great idea and I go all out. And then I was encouraged. And so I'm going to try it. And it has been one of the best things the best experiences. And we're not even there yet. We're like 6, 7 weeks away.
Yeah.
And every day I'm like, this is getting better and better and better. Which means I'm getting better. And
Mm-hmm.
so if anything, this event could totally flop. I would still call it a win. But as of
Mm-hmm.
right now, there's no chance in that happening at
No.
all,
Yeah.
because I've just stayed really clear on why. Why are we
Mm-hmm.
doing this? And it's not
Mm-hmm.
about Laycee, it's about other women.
Mm-hmm. Can you describe who is the attendees? Who are these attendees? Because I know, so it's open to women ages 18 and up. So can you
Mm-hmm.
describe, like, for someone who's listening, how will they know that this is for them?
This is for the woman who has that voice inside that says, I can do more. Very similar to how I was talked to once. Like, are you a powerful woman that knows you are worth more?
Mm-hmm.
And really, this isn't just for entrepreneurs. This is for
Mm-hmm.
any woman, because I find that high level entrepreneurs tend to dive really deep into personal development. Well, what about your stay at home mom?
Mm-hmm.
And so this event is for any woman that wants to be the best at what they do. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, or you work a 9 to 5, or you're running a corporate company, or you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You
Mm-hmm.
should feel the best. Be the best stay-at-home mom. Be the best person on your team. Be the leader in your community or in your church. Be the
Mm-hmm.
leader to your family and be the
Mm-hmm.
best at what you do. And women tend to have this internal flame that is dimmed by society, by experiences, by having families. All these other things get in front of women, and they sacrifice so much. But at the end of the day, if they sacrifice them, what are they of value to anything else? So this event is really designed for any woman who is looking to be her best in what she does in life. And just to really turn that light back on. Because I know that if my light was like shut off, electricity totally taken out
Mm-hmm.
at one point in time, and somebody plugged into me and reignited me,
Mm-hmm.
like I said in my Salon Suite company, if I wanted an opportunity, I know with all the billions of people in this world that there's somebody else that wants that opportunity, and I would love to provide that for them. So this
Mm-hmm.
event is really for any type of woman, any stage in their life. There's
Mm-hmm.
really no rules. There's not,
Mm-hmm.
you just have to be a woman. How about that? That's the only
Mm-hmm.
real thing. And, if you've ever never invested in personal development and you're wondering whether you should, always from a coach's perspective, yes, because why shouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And if
Yeah.
you can have your entire house clean and your family happy and you take care of your body and then you're also taking care of your mind and always being better, your kids are
Mm-hmm.
going to be better, your husband is going to be better, your
Mm-hmm.
family is going to be better, you are going to be the best for them. And sometimes people just need a different perspective on what being better is. So
Mm-hmm.
this event is really designed for those women. Or even if you feel like you're at the best, come be in the room and add value because somebody needs to learn how you got to be at your
Mm-hmm.
best.
Mm-hmm. That
So
was
really no
definitely one.
limits.
Yeah, I love that. That was really definitely one of the things that drew me to want to be a part of this and participate in it is that I believe that every human is capable of being a leader and that we all are actually asked to be leaders. It's just about whether or not we decide to step up to that. So I love that. Yeah, this is for the women who are single and don't have kids or a partner. This is for stay-at-home moms. This is for everyone because I think there are so many people that are living with that dimmed light that all they need is the right person to say something to trigger and help them see that flame that's always been there. So I love that about this. Um, I want to talk a little bit too about the what you've got planned for the agenda and just what you mean by experiential learning because that's another reason why I feel like I was so in alignment with what you were talking about because I agree with you. I think when people have a feeling associated with information, then that's what helps them to transform their lives and make those changes. And so I'm very big on experiential learning as well. So what does that mean to you and how is that adding to the agenda? If you can talk a little bit about
We
that.
we have so many things planned. I'm bursting at the seams with how many cool things. I have been so intentional. Life is an experience.
Mhm.
Life, everything that we go through. Trauma is an experience. Failures and success is an experience. Work is an experience. Relationship is an experience. We
Mhm.
are an experience. People are
Mhm.
an experience, but we tend just to go through the motions and not be in the experience. And
Mhm.
so when you're in my room, you're going to be in the experience because I have been in the experience. I have been an experience and I have been affected by experiences. So for me, what really got me to move was a different perspective, a different set of questions, and being in an environment where I could be super open to learning
Mhm.
something new. Like you said, I learned information. I learned like, what do you want? Why does that matter? Who are you being? All simple questions that we could ask ourselves every single day. But it wasn't until I was in the room, in the environment, having an intense boot camp style experience, did it land different. And so everything that we've designed from the branding, the women that are going to be speaking on stage, from the swag that's coming,
Mhm.
which is so cool. Everything, the food that we have, the location, the different types of things that we're going to learn, the people that we're going to hear from on the panel, like they've all had amazing experiences in life, good and bad. And that's what's led them to be at where they're at. So everybody, everything from start to finish is all about the experience instead of about the information. The information comes through the experience, but the
Mhm.
way we've set this event up has been all about like when people leave, they're going to be like, wow, that was so cool. And not wow, oh, Laycee does it so big. No, like,
Mhm.
wow, I felt something. I
Mhm.
learned something. Now I'm going to go take action. And that is
Mhm.
where true transformation happens. And
Mhm.
so this event is going to be the most successful because of the intentionality around the experience and putting people that love experiences too in front of these women to enhance the experiences like you. That's why I sought you out, is because you're an experiential speaker. And I researched you and listened to your podcast and your YouTube. And I was like, no, her and I are just the same. We're two different human beings, but we are the same.
Yeah.
We're in alignment with, we understand that life is an experience. So you are the perfect person to be in front of these women to talk about that. Um, I could get a celebrity up there if I wanted to. They're just gonna have stars in their eyes because they're a celebrity, or I can put somebody that is just like them in front of them and deliver an
Mhm.
experience, and then they can have stars in their eyes because they can relate.
Mhm. Mhm. I think the other aspect about this that people don't even realize, well, there's two things that came to mind that I want to say. First is when you talk about investing in yourself, this is you've kept this a really affordable rate for people to have huge 2 full day experience type of thing with people that are all have the same desire. For the ticket price is $750, but I know you have several different codes, including the one that for me, for my community, Mo Smith, for $250 off. That means you're getting this 2 day event for $500. So if you're listening, if you've never invested in yourself before, like you said earlier, as a coach, I always say, yes, do it. And at this price, what a way to experiment and see what the impact is. Because the other thing that's going to happen is that this experience really starts as soon as you buy the ticket, and then it continues afterwards, because the community that you're going to have around you, the people that you could have in your circle then that will help keep you accountable, that is priceless. That's what I love about, like what you mentioned earlier, with all the different experiences you've had and the people that you've met. You can't put a price on that. That changes everything. So you've made this really accessible, and I think that's amazing as well.
Yeah, I found that high ticket events are amazing, but they're
Mm-hmm.
for a specific type of person.
Mm-hmm.
And if we wanted to reach the women here, we
Mm-hmm.
needed to reach the women here
Mm-hmm.
and reach the women and meet them where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
not where we are at. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's why we've designed the pricing. That's why I am capping it. We are taking 100 women. That
Mm-hmm.
is it. I could fill that room with hundreds and hundreds, but that would start to alter the experience. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, we are about the experience first.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, yes, we're running a business and everything, but if you've never invested in personal development, anybody that has will say $500 is cheap for the 2 days for everything that you're going to get, which is
Yeah.
good. Let
Mm-hmm.
it be accessible to you. Let it be something that you can pick up and
Mm-hmm.
come and spend the 2 days with us. And at the end, you're going to be like, that was the best money spent,
Mm-hmm.
because that same money can be spent on going out to dinner because you didn't want to cook at home, or, Amazon shopping. You could just choose to use your money in a different way. But what
Mm-hmm.
if you could take that money, make it work for you, and
Mm-hmm.
then you are better in every aspect of your life?
Mm-hmm.
I would spend that money every single day, whether I had ever done personal development or not. And so, yeah, for us, we are meeting people where they are at. We are delivering a high level experience for them at a lower ticket price, which is very similar to what we do in our Salon Suite company. We have very affordable rates, but
Mm-hmm.
high value experience. And guess what? That business model works. So I know that I can repeat it in a different industry. So yeah, I just
Mm-hmm.
truly believe in my heart, you have to make it accessible for the people that you're reaching for.
Mm-hmm. So if somebody's listening today and they're interested either in your beauty salon suites or this event, what's the best way to reach you?
For Radiance, you can go to www.radiance-event.com. That website is filled with everything. All our
Mm-hmm.
speakers, panelists, registration form, agenda, frequently asked questions. We have hotels that have
Mm-hmm.
room blocks if you want to come stay next to the venue. And so that website has every single thing that you need to know. When you register, put in your promo code Mo Smith, and you will receive $250 off of your ticket right then and there at registration. And then as soon as you register, we wrote an ebook. So you will get a 60-page ebook preparing you to be in the room at Radiance. It's all about being a radiant woman and what that means. And so, like you had said, as soon as you register, we start this experience. This isn't just the 2 days. This is from the time that you register forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything you need to know about our event is on our website. And then to reach out to us for our Salon Suite company is www.exbsuites.com, and you will be able to find out what all the amenities that we offer, who we are. We also have a directory, so you can actually go and look at every single one of our beauty professionals that we
Awesome.
have in our company.
Okay.
Their social media links are on there. Their website booking links are on there. So if you want a service, you can go to our website and book directly with each one of them, even though they're all independent. So, like
I
I said,
love
we have
that.
hair, skin, nails, massage,
Yeah.
tattooing, barbering. We have literally everyone and every type of flavor, I should say, for every type of client, whether you're more business professional, relaxed, fun, punky, modern, like we very girly rooms. I mean, we have something for everyone in our building.
So cool. That's awesome. I love that. I'll make sure to put those links in the show notes, everybody who's listening as well. Well, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing with us a little bit about who you are, your journey, what you're doing, and then this epic event that we have coming up. I can't wait for everybody to get their tickets and to be there. It's going to be an experience unlike any other. So I always like to end each episode with what's your current I love it when for the world or for yourself?
This is a good one. I love it when all the things.
Yes.
I love it when we build together.
I love that. Thank you
that's what
so
we're doing
much.
here. Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's so fun. And I'm just so honored that you jumped on board for Radiance and that you are going to be delivering such an amazing experience to the women in the room. And I'm just so blessed that we have crossed paths and to see what we're going to do here in the future. I'm excited. This won't be the last time that we do this.
No, I don't think so at all. No, thank you. I'm excited for it too. I think the thing that when we talked for the first time in your suites last week that really got me excited was I could see how much joy it brings you doing this work, and the feeling that I know I get when I'm putting on a retreat or an event, and to be in the room in the space with people who have that desire to learn and to learn from each other, because I learned something as well. It's not just me talking at the crowd, and I love that you had that same feeling, I could tell. And that just means like the magic that's going to happen. We can't even fully tell you guys who are listening the story of what this event's going to be like, because it will only become like aware to us when we have everybody there, because all of the attendees are going to be part of it. And so it's going to be so cool. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.